Cinderella's Story. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, lived a beautiful girl named Cinderella. After Cinderella's kind mother died, her father married Lady Puffy. Lady Puffy had two arrogant, jealous, and quarrelsome daughters, just like herself. They would fight for hours, even over something as simple as a hairbrush.
Ah! Stop it! I said stop it! Give it back! It's mine! No!
One day, Cinderella's father had to take a long journey. Lady Puffy took this chance to give all the hard work in the house to poor Cinderella. Cleaning the whole house, carrying wood to the fireplace, and preparing meals took up all of Cinderella's time. Despite her hard work, Lady Puffy and her daughters were cruel and proud.
Mother, Cinderella is filthy. Don't let her eat in the same room with us. Don't let her sleep in our room. We're having nightmares.
You heard what my beautiful daughters have said? Go and find a place to sleep in the attic. Poor Cinderella settled in a dusty old room in the attic. Out of her small window, she looked down to the garden. And from time to time, she would talk to a snow-white pigeon.
Why, hello, sweet pigeon.
As the days went on by, while cleaning up her room in the attic, Cinderella met two little mice.
Who are you little guys? Hi, I'm Cheddar. I am Mozzarella. And I am Cinderella. You little guys love to eat cheese, don't you? I will prepare a delicious meal for you. Yes. We are starving. We haven't been able to go to the kitchen for hours. There is a mean, hairy, sharp monster down there. That nasty cat, Papu. First thing tomorrow morning, I'm going to prepare a delicious breakfast for you two.
The next morning, Cinderella went to the kitchen without making any noise. The mean cat, Papu, waited in front of the tiny mouse hole in the kitchen to hunt Cheddar and Mozzarella. Cinderella silently took some pieces of cheese and headed to the attic. But then, Lady Puffy's daughters caught her.
What are you holding in your hand? And where are you going with it? It's just some cheese for breakfast. Mom, Cinderella is stealing our food. I'm stealing? I would never steal anything.
A thief and a liar. What an evil girl you are. The little mice went downstairs and started to run around the kitchen to scare the evil sisters.
Ah! Oh no! A mouse! There's a mouse in the house! Mom, I'm scared! Not one mouse, it's two! Ah!
Lady Puffy was just about to catch the mice when there was a knock at the door. The royal ambassador arrived.
His Majesty the Royal Prince has prepared a grand ball at the castle tomorrow night. All the young ladies around the country are invited to this ball.
As soon as they heard about the grand ball, Jezebel and Cassandra ran with huge excitement to their rooms and started to pick dresses for this important evening. Also, Lady Puffy wanted her daughters to look beautiful. So, the evil stepsisters forced Cinderella to prepare beautiful ball dresses for them. The next day arrived. Cinderella was very tired. Her little friends tried to wake her up.
Cinderella, wake up! Wake up! You have to go to the ball!
But
don't even have a dress. The only dress I have is dirty. Close your eyes, Cinderella. We have a surprise for you.
Her little friends took Cinderella to the middle of the room. The white pigeon lifted the cover of the wall with its beak.
Ta-da! Ta-da!
I can't believe it! It looks amazing! Cinderella put on her new dress and did her hair, and finally went downstairs. But her evil stepsisters saw Cinderella and went crazy with jealousy. Lady Puffy didn't want Cinderella to go to the ball when she saw that she was prettier than her own daughters. So she threw a bowl of beans into the fireplace in the living room for Cinderella to pick up.
If you can pick up the beans out of the ashes and put them back into the bowl within 5 minutes, you can come to the ball with us.
Cinderella wanted to go to the ball so much that she began to pick up the beans. Her little friends saw her situation and came to help. Within 5 minutes, they picked up all the beans and put them back into the bowl. Cinderella ran after Lady Puffy, who was already leaving, and showed the full bowl to her. Lady Puffy still did not want Cinderella to go to the ball, so this time she used Cinderella's dirty dress as an excuse, and they left Cinderella in the house and went on to the prince's castle. Poor Cinderella was very sad. She sat down in the garden and wept and cried right under a hazelnut tree that her mother had planted long ago. And just then, the hazelnut tree began to shake and to shine, and a beautiful fairy appeared in front of Cinderella.
My name is Leobelle, and I am here to help you. Don't be sad. You will go to that ball as well.
But how am I supposed to go to the ball like this?
Leave that to me. I just need a pumpkin.
The other things I need are already here.
Cinderella came back, holding a pumpkin in her hands. Fairy Leobelle began to wave her magic wand around and turned the pumpkin into a beautiful coach. The mice into very nice horses, and the pigeon into a well-dressed coach driver. Cinderella couldn't believe what she saw.
But how did you do this, Leobelle?
The fairy waved her magic wand again and put Cinderella in a beautiful blue dress. On her feet appeared sparkling glass slippers.
I look like a princess now. Thank you, Leobelle. Now it's time for you to go to the ball. Hurry up!
The fairy warned Cinderella before she headed to the ball.
But don't forget, you need to be back at midnight, or else the magic will be gone, and everything will be as it was before.
Cinderella listened to the fairy carefully and finally headed to the castle. The pumpkin coach stopped in front of the big castle. Cinderella, with her overwhelming beauty, entered the castle. The guests of the ball saw Cinderella and wondered who this beautiful young lady was. Neither Lady Puffy nor her daughters realized that this beautiful girl was Cinderella. Prince Leo moved towards Cinderella and fell in love at first sight.
Beautiful young lady, may I have this dance, please?
Cinderella was mesmerized by the magical dance with Prince Leo, so that she forgot about the time. When the clock was just about to strike 12, she remembered the fairy's warning.
You need to be back at midnight or else.
Cinderella left the prince back and ran out of the castle quickly.
Where are you going? I don't even know your name.
Cinderella ran down the castle's stairs and all of a sudden lost one of her glass slippers. Unfortunately, she did not have time to go back and take it, so she ran to the coach as fast as she could and left the castle.
Find the beautiful owner of this lost slipper. If necessary, every girl in the country shall try on this shoe.
As soon as the clock struck 12, everything turned back to what it was before. Cinderella went back to her room in the attic. She thought about the magical night she had had with Prince Leo and realized that she fell in love. But it seemed to be impossible that the prince would recognize her with her old dirty clothes. Time passed, and the prince had a huge mansion built next to the castle for the precious glass slipper. All the young girls living in the next country visited this place to try the slipper on. Even Lady Puffy and her daughters visited the famous mansion, but did not take Cinderella with them.
You stay at home. It is impossible that the shoe belongs to you.
Right, the shoe is going to fit Cassandra or to me. But I also am a young girl living in this country. I have the right to try on the shoe as well.
Lady Puffy did not even listen to Cinderella. She locked her up in the house and left with her daughters. Of course, the glass slippers did neither fit to Cassandra's feet nor to Jezebel's.
If I try only a little bit more, I think it will fit.
At nighttime, when the mansion's lights were sparkling, Cinderella made it out of the house, thanks to mozzarella and cheddar. She arrived at the majestic mansion and walked towards the sparkling glass slipper. As she was just about to try on the shoe, Prince Leo stepped into the room.
Stop! Don't move! You're going to damage the shoe.
No, it's my shoe. It fits me perfectly.
She is telling the truth. She is Cinderella.
Cinderella courageously put on the shoe in front of Prince Leo, and he realized that the shoe fits perfectly
That night,
to Cinderella.
you are the beautiful girl I danced with on that night. May I know your name?
My name is Cinderella, Your Highness.
Will you marry me, Cinderella?
Cinderella happily said yes to the prince, whom she fell in love with. They got married in the big castle and lived happily ever after. Cinderella, Evil Fairy. Once upon a time, in a land far away, there lived a beautiful princess named Cinderella. Cinderella was married to the handsome Prince Leo. They lived happily in the great castle and enjoyed their lives. But back at Cinderella's home, her stepmother, Lady Puffy, and her two daughters were all upset and jealous.
If I was living at that castle, I would be going to the best balls and dances. I would be eating the most delicious meals at the castle every evening.
Even their cat Papu would dream about a wealthy life at the castle. Lady Puffy was so angry that she threw Cinderella's things out the attic window one by one. Ah! We don't need any of these things anymore. It's all useless. Suddenly, Lady Puffy spotted a box which was left in the corner of the room. With great curiosity, she opened it up and found an old pocket watch inside. Lady Puffy took the pocket watch and headed to the living room. The sisters also were very curious when they saw the old watch, and they pressed the button on the side of the watch to open it up and to see what was hiding inside. It seemed to be an ordinary watch with an ordinary mirror, except the hands of the clock began to turn backwards. All of a sudden, bright lights shone out of the watch and lit up the whole room. They were all surprised, and suddenly an evil fairy appeared in front of them.
Finally, I'm back in the real world!
You? What? Who are you?
I am the fairy of the past. My name is Kyra Bell.
Kyra Bell was thrown out of the fairy world because she was a bad-hearted, cruel fairy. She told Lady Puffy and her daughters,
Whoever of you ladies saved me may make a wish. Anything you want.
Me!
I saved you. It was me.
The evil fairy Kyra Bell chose Lady Puffy for the wish. And without hesitation, Lady Puffy made a wish.
I want you to turn back time to the night of the ball. Prince Leo shall get married to one of my beautiful daughters.
Achoo!
The evil fairy waved her magic wand at the pocket watch and made every watch in the whole country turn backwards. When that happened, Cinderella suddenly found herself back in time at the night in which she became married to the prince. Then, time slipped backwards again when she was at the huge mansion that was built for the glass slipper. She tried to get into the mansion again. Then she moved back in time again when Lady Puffy and her daughters locked her up in the house and went to the mansion to try on the glass slipper. Prince Leo found Cinderella's shoe at the castle stairs, and again the clock hit 12. The wonderful dance took place once more. Then Cinderella headed to the castle in her pumpkin coach. Time kept slipping backwards until Cinderella found herself sitting under the hazelnut tree with Cheddar and Mozzarella, and Fairy Leabelle came back again.
Beautiful Cinderella, I came to help you. Leabelle, what's going on? The prince doesn't know me anymore. This must be the work of my evil sister, Kyra Bell.
Leabelle told about some mysterious box in the world of the fairies. It was strictly forbidden to open up that box, but Fairy Kyra Bell opened it anyway. She told that Kyra Bell was punished and trapped into an old pocket watch. After a long time had passed, she was set out of her prison by Lady Puffy and her daughters. She showed Cinderella that Kyra Bell was together with them.
Lady Puffy made a horrible wish to Kyra Bell. In order to fix this, we need to lock her back up inside of that watch. I agree, but how?
Leabelle, Cinderella, and their little friends made a plan. Another few days turned backwards. The ambassador of the castle announced the ball again. But this time, Cassandra and Jezebel didn't tell Cinderella about the ball and tried on their ballroom dresses in secret. The next day, to stop Cinderella from going to the ball, Lady Puffy locked her up in the attic and walked away with her daughters without saying anything. Before entering the ballroom, Belle appeared next to them. She waved her magic wand and put a love spell on Cassandra. As soon as Cassandra entered the ballroom, she caught Prince Leo's attention thanks to the love spell. The prince headed towards her and asked her if she would dance with him.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Cinderella and her little friends were still locked up in the attic, waiting for the good fairy. The White Pigeon arrived at Cinderella's small window, carrying the old pocket watch in which Belle was trapped before. A moment later, the good fairy Belle appeared in front of them.
We have to go to the hazelnut tree right now.
Fairy waved her magic wand once, and all of a sudden, Cinderella and her friends found themselves under the hazelnut tree again. But from behind the tree, the evil fairy Belle surprised them.
Your plan will fail. Cinderella will never make it. And now it's your time to be trapped in the watch, Belle.
The evil fairy cast her spells at Belle with all her nasty powers, and Belle fought back with her magic wand. The little mice and pigeon hid behind Cinderella because of the powerful battle. Belle's wand became stronger and stronger. And finally, the evil fairy was defeated and blown down to the ground.
Cinderella, the watch! Open the watch! Hurry up! No, please! I can't be trapped inside that watch again!
Cinderella opened the watch in her hand quickly. The evil fairy Belle disappeared slowly and went back into the mirror in the watch. All the watches in the country started to move correctly again. But of course, this was not the end of the story. The ball! I'm too late for the ball, Belle! The good fairy, with a magic touch, gave Cinderella a wonderful dress and her famous glass shoes. A few moments later, with a little help of magic, she turned the pigeon into a huge bird. So, Cinderella sat down on the back of the pigeon, and without wasting a moment, they quickly flew away to the castle. But when she arrived, she saw Prince Leo dancing with Cassandra. Mozzarella and Cheddar ran to the prince and tried to wake him from his spell.
Hey! The most beautiful girl at the ball is over there!
The most beautiful girl?
Whatever. Let us dance. Look, she's waiting for you. Go!
As soon as Prince Leo saw Cinderella, he fell in love with her again, and the magic of true love destroyed the spell of the evil fairy. Cinderella and Prince Leo started to dance.
I think I know you. Your beautiful face looks really familiar.
Cinderella happily danced with the prince. Also, Mozzarella and Cheddar were dancing. Finally, everything was as it was supposed to be. Cinderella and Prince Leo were married again within a few days, and their lovely hearts were back on track. While Lady Puffy and her arrogant daughters were mad out of jealousy.
We couldn't make it again.
Cinderella, the Magic Slippers. Once upon a time, in a land far away, there was a beautiful girl named Cinderella. The kind-hearted Princess Cinderella lived together with Prince Leo in a wonderful castle. There was an old lady living in their country who had been working in a bakery for a long time. She baked the most delicious breads. But hardly anyone knew that this old lady, Xenia, was indeed a dangerous magician. Xenia would always go into her magic room in the basement, hidden from everyone else, to prepare different potions for those who ask for her magic. As the days passed, Lady Puffy and her daughters, Cassandra and Jezebel, were still pursuing treacherous plans to take over the magnificent palace.
I'm sure there was some magic involved.
Cassandra mentioned the magician named Xenia, who was secretly preparing potions in her small basement room. On the same day, Cinderella and Prince Leo were planning to organize a ball at the castle. I'm going to wear my glass slippers to the ball. While the preparations for the ball were taking place, Lady Puffy and her daughters were already on their way to the evil magician. They walked along a forest road until they finally saw a sign with some strange letters written on it. As they moved towards the sign, they noticed a tunnel entrance and entered in. In this mysterious tunnel, which was very dark, candles lit up magically as they were passing by. And a little further down the path, an owl appeared in front of them.
Sweet rodents, who are you? What are you doing on this road? Don't you know the password?
Xenia, 1, 2, 3. Pour the potion quickly.
This is ridiculous. That's right. Follow me. I will lead you there. Flapping and flapping. Somebody turn on the owl door for me, thank you. Clockwise. Very good, ladies. Xenia, someone here to see you.
There were a lot of potion bottles around. Boilers, ladles, clamps, different herbs, plants, and tiny bats flying around in the air.
Mommy! This place is so scary. Ah!
In the colorful smoke, Lady Puffy and her daughters waited eagerly for the magician. Finally, Xenia appeared wearing a black hat and raised her hat to show them her face.
Tell me, what spell do you want from me?
Lady Puffy realized that Xenia was actually her sister, who she hadn't seen in years.
But you are my sister. I can't believe my eyes.
Puffy, it's you.
We thought you were lost. You are a magician now?
Yes, now I can have it all. Tell me, why do you need a spell?
The girls told Aunt Xenia that they wanted to take over Cinderella's life. Xenia decided to use a very powerful spell because her sister and her nieces were involved. At first, she asked for a hair of each girl and put it in a yellow bowl filled with some magical water. Then, she took the footsteps of Cassandra and Jezebel with the help of a basin filled with mud. She took the water, poured it into the footprints, and at that moment, Cinderella's slippers appeared on the wall directly in front of the girls.
Hiccups of horses and the speed of a cat, Cinderella's slippers will cause her to fall flat. At the sound of Puffy's voice, the glass slippers will go, only where she commands them to step to and fro.
My dear, I'll give me a ball and watch how Cinderella will fall. Can play with her like a doll and watch how the magic will flow. Magic is my everything. I can rule the world with it. Magic is my everything. I can capture all that I need. Magic is my everything. I can rule the world with it. Magic is my everything. Magic is my everything.
Finally, it was the night of the ball. Cinderella put on her favorite dress with her precious glass slippers and went to the ballroom. Lady Puffy and her daughters watched Cinderella secretly from a corner of the ball. All right, magic slippers, let Cinderella stumble. When Cinderella suddenly fell to the ground. Of course, she couldn't understand what was going on. She stood up quickly, but her feet would not stop moving, and she kicked the ball guests as they ran around the hall.
No! What is happening to me?
Cinderella ran back and forth, to the right and to the left. Neither the prince nor the ball guests could stop her. Finally, she came out of the ballroom and ran down the castle stairs, but still couldn't control her feet. In the meantime, Lady Puffy and her daughters watched Cinderella and giggled.
Princess Cinderella is leaving the castle.
Whoa, look at her go. Hey, I wonder where she's going.
Oh, the princess is leaving.
What happened to Princess Cinderella? Those shoes.
Cinderella quickly ran away from the castle. Get lost in distant lands, Cinderella. When all this happened, Cinderella's little friends, Mozzarella and Cheddar, asked Fairy Leabelle for help under a hazelnut tree.
Leabelle, come here, wherever you are. We need your help.
Leabelle suddenly appeared in front of Mozzarella and Cheddar and flew straight to where Cinderella was. The magic glass slippers changed their color and turned red. Leabelle waved her magic wand to Cinderella's shoes, but it did not help.
Slippers of speed, not meant to be comfy. Stop when your path gets muddy and bumpy.
The fairy's magic phrases created a swamp on the road. The glass shoes got stuck in the magic swamp, and they stopped. But unfortunately, Cinderella began to sink into the swamp too.
Help! Leabelle, I'm sinking.
Leobelle waved her wand 3 times, and wings grew out of Cinderella's shoulders. Cinderella used the new wings to escape the swamp.
Thank you, Leobelle. You saved my life, but I will never be able to see my glass slippers again. The glass slippers were bewitched, Cinderella. Hurry, let's go back to the castle.
Fairy Leobelle gave Cinderella new shoes, and they went back to the castle together. Cinderella was very happy to meet Prince Leo and her little friends again. When Lady Puffy and her daughters realized that their evil plan had failed, they left the ball immediately.
Ah, the good ones always win. I hate it.
Cinderella and her loved ones always stay happy. The owl watched everything and told the magician Xenia,
Hey, Xenia, listen. The Sue thing did not work.
No! This can't be happening. How can they defeat a magician like me? Nobody can do that.
Whoa, calm down, woman.
Cinderella and the 3 Witches. Once upon a time, in a land far away, there lived a magician named Xenia. Xenia believed that she was the most powerful magician that had ever existed. But when the fairy Leobelle broke one of her spells, Xenia realized that her magic had weakened. So, she used her magic to summon magicians and witches to join forces.
I'm calling for you, magicians and witches from everywhere.
Do you think the thing is turned on?
Give me a sign.
The first one to respond to Xenia's calls was the evil witch, Hella. Then, Vega from the underwater world came into conversation. And finally, they began to make treacherous plans together. Hella told that she wanted to destroy the beauty of Snow White, and Vega planned to take control of the underwater kingdom by harming mermaid Aria.
We must win a war against the princesses, but we will start with Cinderella.
Then let's go get Snow White.
And Aria.
As the trio of witches cackled with evil laughter, Cinderella awoke to a happy morning with her little mouse friends.
The rainbow is all above. Your prince will give you love. So never give up believing. 2 hearts are never leaving. Dream, Cinderella, dream. Your heart shines in this dream. Dream, Cinderella, dream. Your heart shines in this dream.
How beautiful you look, my princess.
But before she could answer, the earth began to shake under their feet. The trees around them were about to fall over. They swung to the left and to the right. Cinderella's friend, the White Pigeon, flew towards them nervously.
What's going on here? Please call for help, White Pigeon.
When the White Pigeon noticed Cinderella's situation, she flew to the ocean with a letter to the underwater kingdom.
What is happening?
No! No! The castle! My prince! Look! The castle is falling!
The castle began to fade away. It was about to be wiped from the earth. This was all happening because the three evil magicians, Xenia, Hella, and Vega, bewitched the castle together with the help of their crystal balls. They thought they couldn't be stopped.
And when the castle completely crumbles, you will disappear.
When Cinderella and Prince Leo ran away from the castle, it began to rain. So they took shelter under a hazelnut tree.
This is a hazelnut tree. That means we can call for Leobel.
Cinderella put her hand on the hazelnut tree, closed her eyes, and called for the good fairy Leobel.
Leobel, Leobel, help us to break the spell.
When she heard Cinderella's voice, Leobel appeared under the tree and used her wand to find out what was going on.
There's witches in the tree.
Oh no, Cinderella! This is the work of 3 powerful witches. They are so strong. We must hurry up and break this spell.
With a little magic, Fairy Leobel took everyone to the castle. When they arrived, they couldn't believe what they saw. The old castle was gone. Instead, there was a new, evil-looking castle. Mozzarella and Cheddar were also in shock. Suddenly, Xenia the magician appeared in front of the castle, with Hella and Vega next to her.
You came to the wrong place. Now you don't have a home.
And now you will disappear too. Each of the evil witches started to fire magic bolts at Cinderella. Leobel panicked and tried to shield Cinderella from the magic rays with her wand. But she was outnumbered, and the magic drained the power. She was almost defeated. She couldn't hold her magic wand any longer, and it dropped. Cinderella quickly took the magic wand and turned it to the witches. Fortunately, the light from the wand could stop the magic rays.
Oh no! Oh no! What are we going to do now?
But the evil witches wouldn't give up. This time, Vega used her power to defeat Cinderella by using water from deep down in the earth. She made the water split, and water streamed out.
Oh no! How could she do this?
You will never be able to defeat me. As the water streamed all over, something unexpected happened. Little Mermaid Aria's father, King Poseidon, appeared.
I read your letter. Leave Vega to me.
Poseidon used his trident and directed some of the water towards the witches.
Throw the witch in the trash.
Stop!
You can't do this! Vega tried to stop the water, but she couldn't. Poseidon pointed his trident at the witches again and turned the water into ice, so that the witches were trapped in a giant ice block. Leobel saw her chance to help. She reached out for her wand and used its power to wrap a chain around the ice block and put a big lock on them. Then She lifted them up and threw them onto a mountain where no one would ever dare to climb. Finally, the witches had been defeated.
Thanks, Poseidon!
Poseidon returned to the underwater kingdom. Good fairy Leobel made the new terrible-looking castle disappear and restored Cinderella's beautiful castle back to where it was. Prince Leo and Cinderella were so glad to have their castle back. Thank you, Leobel. No matter how evil the witches are, they will never be able to defeat your kindness.
I will protect you forever, dear Cinderella.
The witches received the punishment for what they had done. They stayed trapped in the ice block on a mountain until the sun melted the ice, and they returned to their lives.
This war hasn't ended here, Leobel and Cinderella. As soon as Rapunzel's witch Camilla joins us, you will be defeated.
Cinderella and the Big Bad Wolf. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there was a very beautiful girl named Cinderella. With her blonde hair, beautiful eyes, and kind attitude, she was enchanting everyone in the castle where she was living. One day, Cinderella stood in front of the window of her room and looked at the beautiful view of the forest, and she saw a huge rainbow.
Oh my, such a beautiful rainbow. I wonder what's at the end of the rainbow.
As Cinderella daydreamed of the beauty of the rainbow, her mouse friends, Mozzarella and Cheddar, came to her and climbed up her shoulders.
Cinderella, can you take us to that rainbow? Yes, please. But I have never been to that part of the forest before. What if it's dangerous? A place with such a beautiful rainbow is surely not dangerous, I think. Yep, and don't worry, Cheddar and I will protect you.
The rainbow is all above. Your prince will give you love. So never give up believing. Two hearts are never leaving. Dream, Cinderella, dream. Your heart shines in the stream.
Can we catch up with the rainbow before it disappears, Cinderella?
If we go before the sun goes down, of course we'll catch up. After moving in the forest for a while, these friends who had set off with hope encountered a very cute turtle.
Aren't you Cinderella, the beautiful princess of our land?
Yes, I am. We're on a quest.
So, tell me, what has brought you here?
We're looking for a rainbow. We are curious about what beautiful things are at the end of it.
Really? May I join you?
Then a sweet rabbit raised his head among the trees. He also wanted to go to the end of the rainbow.
Of course, come with us.
So they continued to walk all together through the forest. A little ahead, they saw 3 squirrels running toward them. The squirrels looked very frightened and fussy. They continued running without noticing Cinderella and her animal friends.
The squirrels. Why didn't they greet us? They seemed scared.
They wouldn't normally do that. I think they were running away from something.
After a while, they saw a gazelle running in fright, and they barely slowed him down.
Cinderella, look, there's a scar on the gazelle's feet.
Cinderella started to talk to the gazelle, since she could speak with animals and understand them.
What's going on, beautiful gazelle? 3 squirrels have just passed us running for their lives. Is there danger in the forest?
Gazelle whispered into Cinderella's ear and dashed away. Cinderella could not believe what she heard. Oh, what happened? What did our gazelle friend say?
The big bad wolf!
What?
Yes, the big bad wolf has started to attack all the animals in the forest. He even wants to supersede the lion, the king of the forests.
This is so dangerous. We must go back to the castle immediately.
No, there may be a lot of animals who need help in the forest. We must go and help them.
All animal friends obeyed Cinderella and kept on moving together in the forest to stop the big bad wolf. When they had the wolf in their sights, the wolf was turning around the puma and fox he had captured, roaring loudly at them and trying to prove his power.
I am the king of the forest now. I will even beat the lion soon. The whole forest will fear me. Look, even this giant elephant stands on one leg by my command.
Despite being strong and large animals, the poor elephant, puma, and fox were so scared that they could not open their mouths and say a word.
Tremble in fear.
As the wolf continued spreading fear, he took a step backwards and fell into a trap that hunters had left.
Help! I am caught! Help me! Oh, don't leave me!
Seeing that the wolf was vulnerable, elephant, fox, and puma fled immediately. However, a little ahead, they encountered Cinderella and her friends.
When the big bad wolf was about to harm the whole forest, he fell into the trap of hunters.
Hunter's trap? It sounds like these hunters are more dangerous than the wolf itself.
Cinderella's right. Hunters are very dangerous. So what? Are we going to help the wolf?
Of course. What if it was you that was attacked by the big bad wolf? Come on, I have a plan.
All the animals agreed with Cinderella and went to rescue the wolf. At that moment, they saw 2 hunters standing next to the wolf caught in the trap.
Oh, I can't believe he wasted this trap for a wolf.
Yes, I wish we could catch a fox, a rabbit, or a more delicious animal.
Maybe a bigger animal will be captured in our other traps.
What are we gonna do with this wolf?
You see how dangerous hunters are for the forest. You're right, Cinderella. Come on, let's scare them and chase them away so that they could never harm any animals again.
The friends of Cinderella, and even all the other animals in the forest at that moment, came together and started running towards the hunters. The hunters were frightened at what they saw.
So many animals, what's they doing here?
No,
go away! Run, Frankie!
Run! And so, they fled until they were out of sight. Cinderella and her mouse friends approached the trapped wolf.
Save me! Please, I beg you, save me!
We will save you, don't worry. But on one condition. You will promise not to hurt anyone anymore.
Yes, I promise. Just please get me out of this trap. I won't harm another creature, not even an ant. Please. Oh.
Believing the wolf, Cinderella and the animals saved him from the terrible trap.
Good to be out of that trap.
Thus, they understood that the most valuable thing in the forest was to protect each other and to protect their friendship.
Oh, look! We're at the end of the rainbow now. Ooh, pretty!
At the end of that rainbow, Cinderella and her friends were very curious about what was at the end of it. There was nothing but kindness, friendship, and love. Cinderella and the Magical Cake. Once upon a time, the beautiful princess Cinderella and her husband Leo lived in the biggest castle of the country. And her stepmother and stepsisters were jealous that Cinderella was a princess and they were not, so they were still plotting against Cinderella to take her position and her castle.
Cinderella thinks that she's a princess, but she's forgotten who she really is.
Yes, she has. She was just the maid of our house.
We have to put her back in her place. She's not fit to be a princess.
Lady Puffy was Cinderella's stepmother. With her 2 daughters, Cassandra and Jezebel, she went to the city's most delicious cake and muffin bakery. The baker was Lady Puffy's sister, Xenia, who was secretly a powerful wizard. There were never any customers in her store because she looked so scary and thin. Nobody wanted to buy her bread.
Oh, hey, my favorite customers, Sister Puffy and my nieces. Hello, Auntie.
We need you, sis. We wish to make a new evil plan for Cinderella.
So you're still miffed about Cinderella, huh?
Unless one of my daughters enters the castle as a princess, we will forever be miffed, sis.
All right. Just wait for me in the magic room downstairs.
Lady Puffy and her daughters descended into the mysterious magic room under the bakery. Xenia transformed her clothes into a wizard costume just by flicking her fingers once, and she too went downstairs.
Okay, so tell me, what kind of plan do you want me to cook up this time?
You will bake for us a huge, delicious, spectacular cake. But for the ingredients,
while Lady Puffy and her jealous daughters were explaining their treacherous plan, meanwhile, in the castle garden, Cinderella was enjoying a beautiful day with her mouse friends. They were playing hide and seek.
I found you, Cheddar. Oh no, I got caught.
Let's see where mozzarella is. So, here? Oh no. Or
behind that flower. Ta-da! I found you.
Can't we even beat you in this game, Cinderella?
I guess not. Let's get something to eat. As Cinderella and her mouse friends were about to enter the castle, they heard some shouting behind them.
Cinderella! Wait!
Oh, Lady Puffy and my stepsisters?
Where did they come from? Careful that they don't hurt us.
Lady Puffy and her daughters were carrying a huge package. They slowly approached Cinderella.
Cinderella, the princess of our country. Our beloved sister. We brought a gift for you.
We apologize to you for all the bad things we did. Let our quarrels and arguments cease between us now. We are your dear family.
So, are you going to be friendly now?
Yes, of course. Look, we made this beautiful cake in hopes that you would forgive us.
Cinderella was amazed by the cake. She wanted to take a bite right away. But her mouse friends tried to stop her because they did not believe Puffy's intentions.
Wait, Cinderella, don't eat it!
Cinderella did not listen to the mice and plunged her hand into the cake and started eating it like she was starving. Seeing this, Puffy and her daughters laughed with pleasure. Enjoy your meal, Cinderella. Cinderella began to sweat and feel bad before she could even swallow her last bite. Then she suddenly dropped the piece of cake in her hand, and her hands became tiny. Then her feet got smaller and smaller.
Ow! Cinderella, what is happening?
Cinderella suddenly became a tiny person. She was the size of a mouse.
Oh no! Oh no, I'm shrinking! I can't believe it! Everything looks huge and very dangerous.
Now look at the princess of our country. She got tiny like a mouse.
If Prince Leo sees you like this, he will definitely find another princess.
Come on, girls. Let's get to work right now.
Oh yeah, here we come, Prince Leo.
Puffy and her daughters nearly stepped on Cinderella as they rushed away to dress up pretty for the prince.
Ow! Watch out! How am I going to fix it? How? Don't worry, Cinderella. We can get to the hazelnut tree. The good fairy Leobelle will help us. Yes, let's get going before the prince sees you like this.
Cinderella and her mouse friends set off immediately. Everything looked so huge to Cinderella because of her size. Everything is so huge. Does it always look this way to you, my mouse friends? As they tried to get out of the castle's garden, Prince Leo appeared from the castle. As soon as Cinderella saw Leo's shoes, she knew it was him and hid.
There you are, mozzarella and cheddar. Have you seen Cinderella? I can't find her since this morning.
Well, couldn't she have gone to see her white horse?
Oh, of course, the barn. I didn't think to look there. Thank you.
When the prince moved away from the mice, Cinderella came out of the place she was hiding.
Hurry, Cinderella! We have to get you back to your real size before your stepsisters arrive.
Cinderella and her mouse friends began to run with all their strength to the hazelnut tree. Meanwhile, Cassandra and Jezebel got all dressed up and set off towards the palace.
My hair is so beautiful that when the prince sees it, he won't be able to stand it. No, the truth is the prince will faint when he sees me in this dress.
The stepsisters arrived at the castle after a while. And Cinderella, Cheddar, and Mozzarella finally arrived at the hazelnut tree. They were exhausted from running, and they touched the trunk of the tree to summon the good fairy.
Leobelle, come immediately wherever you are.
After a while, Leobelle appeared in glitters.
Cinderella, what happened to you? Help me, Leobelle. I ate from a magic cake brought by Puffy, and then I shrunk like this.
Oh, I know the magic that will restore you. Leobelle, who looked gigantic in Cinderella's eyes, shook her magic wand 3 times in the air. But Cinderella, instead of growing, became even smaller.
Leabelle, now you've shrunken Cinderella to the size of an ant. Oops.
So then, Leabelle pulled out an even stronger magic wand. And finally, Cinderella had returned.
You did it, Leabelle! You did it! Thank you! Let's get back to the castle right now!
Meanwhile, Prince Leo had given up looking for Cinderella and had returned to the castle hall. To his surprise, he found Jezebel in the hall. Jezebel tried to make him fall in love with her.
My prince! See my beauty? See my lovely hair? I dance very well also. La la la. Oh, no.
Cinderella finally arrived at the castle hall. And just as she did, Cassandra tried to approach Prince Leo. But when the prince saw Cinderella in the hall, he quickly ran towards her.
Gotta go. See ya. My princess, I looked everywhere for you. Where were you?
Cinderella told the prince exactly what had happened to her. How she ate the magic cake, how she got smaller, how she called the good fairy with the help of mice.
Cinderella, you're beautiful at any size. I will love you forever, no matter what.
No one could spoil the love of Cinderella and Prince Leo. Not even the evil Lady Puffy, her jealous girls, and their magic cake. Cinderella on the path of the puzzles. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was a dangerous witch named Xenia. This witch was a baker in the mornings, and one day, when she was kneading bread, her owl assistant entered the bakery in a hurry.
Oh, flappin' and flappin', I have news for you, my lady.
Tell me, what is it?
According to the information I have heard, Cinderella will be coming here tomorrow.
Aha! Let's inform Lady Puffy and her daughters immediately.
Xenia immediately wrote a letter to her sister, Lady Puffy. She wrote that Cinderella would be coming to the bakery very soon, and if she still wants one of her daughters to be a princess, she has to hurry up and make an evil plan.
Yes, Xenia? Oh, yeah, I'll carry this. Sure, I'm a talking bird. I have to carry a scroll.
Owl flew in full force and delivered the letter to Lady Puffy. Lady Puffy excitedly read what was written in the letter.
Cassandra! Jezebel!
Cinderella's stepmother told her arrogant, envious daughters the news she received.
If you ask me, let's catch her and lock her in the magic room. No, let's take her to the barn and stack straw on her.
No, none of them. We will get her on the path of puzzles.
What? But she may not get out of there ever.
Isn't that what we want? So one of you can be the new princess of the castle. Lady Puffy and her daughters told this treacherous plan to Xenia with a letter.
What is this, Harry Potter? I'll take your mail.
And when Cinderella came closer to Xenia's bakery with her mouse friends, we haven't eaten a fresh donut for a long time, right?
And that amazing smell of it. Especially the hazelnuts on it.
Cinderella, mozzarella, and cheddar finally arrived at that very famous bakery. The front of the bakery was so crowded that nobody even noticed that princess of the country, Cinderella, was there.
Move! Cinderella, the beautiful princess of our country, has come. Open up! Open up!
When the crowd realized that the princess was coming, they respected her. So Cinderella got to go to the front of the line. Xenia immediately recognized the princess, but she smeared flour on her face to disguise herself from Cinderella.
Welcome, Your Majesty. How can I help you?
Cinderella was so impressed by the delicious smells that she didn't know what to order.
Well, we'll get some donuts. Yes, please give the fresh ones. Dear princess of our country, would you like to buy from my hot breads too?
Xenia handed a pack of donuts and bread to the princess and her mouse friends. Then Cinderella happily left the bakery.
Owl,
Yes?
quickly grab one of those mice and take it to the path of the puzzles.
Oh, sir. I'm an enchanted talking owl, and you want me to grab a mouse?
Owl caught the little mouse friend Cheddar on Cinderella's shoulder in a single move in that crowd.
Here, mouthy. I got ya.
Help! Cheddar! Help!
While the owl flew Cheddar away and disappeared, Cinderella encountered her stepmother and sisters. Oh, Cinderella? What happened? What's wrong with you? An owl kidnapped my little friend Cheddar, and I couldn't see where they were going. I think we just saw that owl. Right, girls?
Yes, I saw it. It was holding something little with its feet.
Cheddar, it is Cheddar. Tell me, where was the owl flying to?
To the path of puzzles.
What? Honey, those who enter the path of puzzles can never come back again. Don't go.
Because you're not smart enough to solve those puzzles.
Their comments made Cinderella very angry, and she started walking towards the path of the puzzles, saying that she would risk everything to save her friend. She will never succeed. It didn't take long for Cinderella to find the path of puzzles. In the middle of the road, there were 3 lines of ropes attached from one tree to the other tree. There was a huge knot in the middle.
I think this is the first puzzle. We need to untie the knots.
Come on, Mozzarella, hold it from there, and I will hold it from here. Working together, Cinderella and Mozzarella successfully untied the huge knot, and they continued on the scary path of puzzles. Cheddar, where are you? This time, they came across a jigsaw puzzle. They thought they would get a clue if they could reveal the picture in the puzzle, and they started sliding the pieces.
It's done! We made it!
Oh, look, the tunnel in the picture is over there. I see it.
But there is a huge rock in front of it, Cinderella.
Cinderella and Mozzarella reached the place of the picture in the puzzle and realized that the big stone standing next to them was actually part of another puzzle. They started thinking about how they could lift the giant rock at the entrance of the tunnel. I think we need to lift these stones, but we must find the right order. But how? Cinderella shifted the stones for several hours, but the giant rock would not move even a little bit. I don't think we can do this, Moz. It isn't working. Just then, Cinderella noticed a little sunlight. Ah, look over there, Mozzarella. There's a leaf pattern on the rock. Cinderella held up the leaf she picked up. Sunlight passed through the leaf and showed the trail of the stones on the rock.
Yes, we found it! The order of the shapes is triangle, circle, square, and cylinder.
After Cinderella put the stones in the correct order, the giant rock moved, and the tunnel road was finally opened. We succeeded in this too, Mozzarella. Give me a 5. Cinderella and her mouse friend entered the tunnel and started moving forward.
Help! Help me!
Did you hear that? I think I hear Cheddar. Cinderella moved quickly and found Cheddar at the end of the tunnel with his feet petrified.
Save me, my princess! I can't move! How will we save him, Cinderella? There are colored potions over there. That treacherous owl took the green one away. I think only that green potion could save me.
Cinderella stood before the colored potion bottles.
Yellow, blue, orange, pink, purple, and red. If we want the green one...
Cinderella was certainly clever. She mixed the blue and yellow potions to make a green one.
Here's the green potion.
Cinderella gently poured the green potion at Cheddar's feet. The ground suddenly softened, and Cheddar was saved.
Hooray! Hooray! Oh, yippee! Hooray! Thank you, Cinderella. Mozzarella, let's get out of here as soon as possible.
Cinderella put her mouse friends on her shoulder and set out to return to the castle.
No way you can make green out of yellow and blue.
And when Lady Puffy and her daughters received the news, they were so very upset.
Hello, lady. I'm sorry to say they escaped.
Puzzles should have been impossible to solve.
Wow, lady, you got really whiny daughters.
But how can that be? Is Cinderella smarter than us?
Yes, apparently she's smarter than you.
But, Mama...
Yeah, the mouse is smarter than you.
Lady Puffy and her spoiled daughters still could not get rid of Cinderella, and Cinderella was happy to have her mouse friend Cheddar again. If a kind-hearted princess wants to save her friends, she can overcome even the hardest of puzzles. Cinderella and the Bell Tower. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was a beautiful princess named Cinderella. And she had 2 mice who were her best friends.
Tomorrow the dance party is going to be so good. La da 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 da. La da la da 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 da. La da la da.
Do you think I should wear my glass shoes tomorrow?
Of course. And your beautiful blue dress.
While Cinderella was excitedly choosing clothes for the dance party to be held in the castle the next day, her evil stepmother and her stepsisters also received the news that there would be a dance party in the castle.
Mom, I can't fit in my party dress for tomorrow. My hair is so bad.
Girls, get dressed immediately. We will go to the castle tonight.
But the dance party is tomorrow.
Your Aunt Xenia will send a spell to us, and we will be the heroes of the night and rescue the prince. And then we will live in the castle.
Huh? How?
Ugh, don't ask so many questions and just do what I say. Now!
Puffy and her daughters set off to go to the castle the night before the dance party. The owl of the witch, Xenia, came to them as they started to travel through the forest. He brought them 2 potions, one blue and the other red.
You will drink the blue one yourself and be protected from magic. And you will put the red one next to the old clock. Let's not have trouble with colors like last time.
When the owl left, Stepmother Puffy and her daughters drank the blue potion in turn. Then they continued their way and secretly entered the castle's dance hall. Puffy immediately put the red potion they received from her witch sister Xenia next to the clock. The potion evaporated, and after a red smoke billowed around, it disappeared.
After 12 hours from now, every person who set foot in this castle will freeze. We'll heal Prince Leo with the blue potion. And then he'll have to take us to the castle because we saved his life.
The evil Puffy and her daughters secretly left the castle after their treacherous plans and returned to their homes. The next day arrived. Cinderella left her room for the dance party by taking the little mouse friends with her. The castle's hall was so crowded that everywhere was filled with dancing couples. Cinderella noticed Prince Leo walking towards her through the crowd, filled with love for her. Just as they were about to come together and dance, Prince Leo suddenly stopped. He became stiff and frozen in place. Cinderella didn't know what he was doing. "My prince?" The prince never budged. He didn't even move his eyes. "What's going on?"
Cinderella, look at these people. Nobody is moving.
Cinderella walked among the people in the dance hall and saw that everyone was still and frozen. How did this happen? Why are we the only ones able to move?
Maybe this is some sort of spell that only affects humans. And maybe it's your glass slippers that are protecting you from the spell.
Mozzarella was right. Cinderella's shoes were protecting her from everything. However, Cinderella was a good princess who wanted to protect not only herself, but also her loved ones. My little friends, look at this old castle clock. As Cinderella approached near the clock, a bright red smoke surrounded her. She took a close look at the clock and noticed that the hour and minute hands were not turning. It's a clock that doesn't stop for centuries. Someone must have cast a spell.
If we can't fix it, are these people gonna stay like this forever? Oh, that would be terrible.
We can talk to the good fairy Liabelle and learn how to break this spell. While Cinderella and her mouse friends left the castle to go to the hazelnut tree, they saw that some people were freezing as they fell off the stairs, and some were freezing as they got out of the cart. Then they reached the hazelnut tree and called Liabelle. "Liabelle, come immediately wherever you are." Liabelle appeared to Cinderella in all her glowing sparkles. "Cinderella, you look worried and scared. What happened?" "Our old castle hall clock is no longer working. All the people in the castle have been frozen. It must be a very powerful spell.
It is not good to stop a clock that has been working for centuries, even older than fairies. It will only work with a very strong voice.
A strong voice? Like a wood-breaking sound? Or like thunder?
Even stronger, like a big bell that will remind the clock of its own voice. Sure, the bell tower. We can ring the big bell over there. Yes, but remember, you have to ring the bell 12 times. Hurry up. Cinderella whistled and called her big white dove, and with her mouse friends, flew towards the bell tower. At that time, Stepmother Puffy and her daughters wore their ball gowns and set off towards the castle.
So, did the spell work, Mom?
Yes, 12 hours is already up. Cinderella finally reached the bell tower. She went up to the top of the tower where the big bell was. She grabbed the pendulum to ring the bell, but couldn't even move it. Too heavy. I couldn't even move it a little bit. How do we ring it 12 times? Cinderella gathered her strength and tried again. Although the pendulum moved a little bit, she was unable to ring the bell. The White Pigeon, who felt sad for Cinderella, began to make small winds with its wings while perched on top of the tower. Oh, the bell is moving. Pigeon, go on. We can do this together. On the other hand, the pigeon flapped its wings fast, while Cinderella pushed the pendulum with all her strength. Thus, the first sound of that giant bell started to echo in the country. 1, 2, 3. Some of the people who could not move in the castle began to move with each hit. 7, 8.
Mom, look! People are beginning to move!
Oh no! Quick, girls, quick! Let's find Prince Leo right now! 11. And with the 12th hit, the old clock of the castle started working again. I hope everything has returned to normal for everyone in the castle. Thanks to Cinderella, people who could move again continued their dance as if nothing had happened. Prince Leo, on the other hand, was very surprised to see stepsister Cassandra instead of Cinderella.
Well, wait a second. Who are you? What's going on here?
How can you not know me, my prince? I'm Cassandra!
Where is Cinderella? Cinderella!
At that time, Cinderella finally reached the castle with her white dove and came across Prince Leo on the castle stairs. Oh, my prince, you are back to normal.
Oh, my princess, where did you disappear to?
I went out to get some fresh air, my prince. Stepmother Puffy and her daughters realized that Cinderella had broken the spell and destroyed their plans. And while they were trying to sneak out of the castle, they got caught by Cinderella. Puffy, Cassandra, Jezebel, I should have guessed. Ah, Cinderella, my stepdaughter. I know what you did, but remember this. Time is very precious for all of us, so you should spend your time doing good, not evil. Puffy and her daughters were embarrassed by Cinderella's words of wisdom, and left the castle. Cinderella returned to Prince Leo and her little mouse friends immediately, because the princesses did not want to miss any moment that they could spend with their loved ones. Cinderella and the Magical Fairy Fruits. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was a very beautiful princess named Cinderella. One day, Cinderella went on a forest stroll with her mouse friends, Cheddar and Mozzarella. They stood under a special hazelnut tree, and Cinderella put her hand on the tree trunk. She wanted to give the fresh fruits she collected to the good fairy Liabelle. Liabelle, Liabelle, come wherever you are. After a moment, the good fairy Liabelle appeared in the lights.
Liabelle!
Cinderella was very glad to see Liabelle. Cinderella immediately gave the fresh fruits in her basket. Have you ever tasted these beautiful fruits before, Liabelle?
Actually, I've never eaten earth fruits before. Really? So you've never even tasted delicious apples?
I don't know. The fruits in the world of fairies are so different. You should definitely taste some of the fruits of our world. Take a look at this. The good fairy took the apple in her hand. The crimson color was so beautiful that she took a big bite of it right away.
Spectacular! You should try some strawberries too, Liabelle.
Cinderella handed a handful of strawberries from the basket to the good fairy. The good fairy ate strawberries too and loved the flavor. Fantastic! The fruits in your world are delicious. In return for this goodness of Cinderella, Liabelle gave her 3 fairy fruits that were lined up on a branch in her special tree. What are these, Liabelle? These are the most beautiful fruits of the world of fairies. They are special. There are 3 beautiful magics hidden inside them that will make you very happy. Cinderella took the 3 magical fruits the good fairy gave her and thanked her. Then she set off for the castle with her little friends. But they didn't realize the evil fairy Kyrabelle, who was secretly following them. Kyrabelle went after Cinderella to stop her sister Liabelle from doing good. Expelled from the world of fairies, the evil fairy cast evil spells on the shelled fairy fruits in Cinderella's hand with her wand.
They'll hate you for this, Liabelle. Then you'll no longer be a fairy godmother.
After she had cast her evil spell, Kyrabelle disappeared. As soon as Cinderella arrived at the castle garden, she picked up the first fairy fruit and threw it into the air. She was excited to see what beautiful magic Liabelle had given her. The fruit split into 2 pieces in the air, and shimmering magical powders poured on Cinderella. But these magical powders turned Cinderella's clothes into a rusty, ragged dress. But these are old and bad clothes.
But the good fairy said that these fruits contain beautiful spells that will make you happy, Cinderella.
Maybe there was a mistake. Let's try the other magical fruit. Cinderella grabbed the second fairy fruit and threw it into the air. When the fruit burst open, the magic powders poured down on Cinderella again. Before the magical powders ran out, a dark cloud came over Cinderella. This cloud stood only over Cinderella and made lightning, and then rain. Although Cinderella tried to flee from side to side, the dark cloud continued to follow her.
Aw, an evil spell came out of this fruit too.
Cinderella immediately entered the castle to escape from the dark cloud. When the dark cloud could not enter in, it disappeared where it was.
What was that? Huh?
Cinderella, no good magic came out of these fairy fruits. Why did the good fairy Liabelle give you these bad magical fruits, Cinderella? I never expected anything like this from her.
I think a beautiful magic will emerge from this last fruit. Don't worry, my mouse friends. Cinderella took the last fairy fruit and threw it back into the air. When the fruit opened, the last powder of magic was poured on Cinderella. And at that moment, Cinderella's beautiful hair began to fall apart, and the inside of her eyes turned black. Before she could realize what was happening, bad laughter started to come out of her mouth.
Cheddar! Cinderella started laughing like an evil witch. I'm so scared right now. Oh!
Cinderella laughed like a wicked witch and started chasing her mouse friends. The mice, on the other hand, decided to run towards the forest road and go under the hazelnut tree. Cinderella rushed after the mice with her tattered clothes, messy hair, dark eyes, and a dark cloud overhead. Mozzarella and Cheddar finally arrived under the hazelnut tree in the forest.
Let's call Liabelle and ask for help. But she's the one who gave these bad fruits to Cinderella. Do you really think she will help? We have no other choice, Cheddar. Liabelle, Liabelle, come wherever you are.
Liabelle came with the lights upon the cries of the mouse friends. The mice immediately told her what had happened, that the magical fairy fruits had put curses and spells on Cinderella. But those were the most amazing fruits of the fairy world. How could such a thing happen? At that moment, the evil fairy Kyrabelle appeared next to them. Of course, it happened thanks to me. Kyrabelle? Both fairies have started to fight each other by pointing wands. The good fairy, thanks to a very powerful magic she used, closed Kyrabelle in a chest and sent her back to the world of fairies. And then Cinderella was just about to catch the little mice. The good fairy shook her wand twice and stopped Cinderella. Then she broke the shell of a new fairy fruit and sprinkled the magical powders on the dirty and ugly-looking Cinderella. As soon as the fairy dust fell on her, Cinderella slowly started to recover.
Cinderella!
Thus, a beautiful magic emerged from the fairy fruit, and that was exactly the Princess Cinderella herself. The mouse friends were delighted to see Cinderella, just as beautiful and joyful as she was before. It might not always be good to share magical fruit, but good friends know that the best thing to share is each other's happiness. Cinderella and the Journey. to the dark wood. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was a very beautiful princess named Cinderella. This princess had a fairy godmother named Liabelle. From time to time, she would go under the hazelnut tree in the forest and have nice conversations with Liabelle. One day, Liabelle gave Cinderella a very important task.
Cinderella, I have to give you something very important, but this must remain a secret between us.
Cinderella was very curious. Then the good fairy waved her wand and opened her palm.
What is this? A thorny chestnut seed belonging to the evil fairy.
You mean Kyrabel? Why do you have this, Liabelle?
The evil fairy does all her evils by drawing power from thorny chestnut seeds, Cinderella. So, you have to bury this seed somewhere she can't find it.
But where can we bury the thorny chestnut seed? Oh dear. Liabelle told Cinderella about the mud castle in the dark wood.
Bury this seed in a hole in front of the mud castle so that Kyrabel's seeds of evil will not bloom again.
Cinderella nodded and left the hazelnut tree to set off as soon as possible. Cinderella first passed under 3 large trees with red fruit, according to the way the good fairy described to her to reach the dark wood. Then she quietly walked down a road full of snapdragons. Then she came across 2 large pillars. According to Liabelle, as soon as I pass between these 2 pillars, I will have entered the dark wood. Cinderella gathered all her courage. 1, 2...
Cinderella, wait!
Cinderella paused for a moment and was delighted to see her mouse friends coming up to her. Oh, Cheddar, Mozzarella!
You didn't think we'd let you go alone, did you?
But you are so tiny. The dark wood can be so dangerous for such sweet mice.
Don't worry, we can protect you and ourselves.
Well then, my brave little friends, let's go. Cinderella ran between the 2 pillars, running with her mouse friends. Arriving exhausted and needing to catch their breath as they entered into the dark wood, Cinderella was terrified when she opened her eyes, for lightning was flashing in the air. Big and terrible animals were walking around, and trees were on fire.
Oh, Cinderella, this is a horrible place.
Don't worry, we will go back as soon as we find the mud castle. Cinderella and her mouse friends started to search for that scary castle in the dark wood. At that time, the good fairy Liabelle was about to be teleported to the world of fairies when the evil fairy Kyrabel suddenly appeared.
I know you took the thorny chestnut seed, Liabelle. You can no longer do evil. Tell me, where is my dear seed of evil?
The evil fairy was so angry that she tried to cast an evil spell with her magic wand, but failed.
Your thorny chestnut seed is now in a place where no evil can sprout again, Kyrabel. To sprout? Yeah. The only place a seed won't sprout is the dark wood.
The good fairy tried to stop Kyrabel from leaving, but she couldn't. Kyrabel was quickly teleported to the dark wood. At that time, the hunters in the dark wood began shooting their arrows at Cinderella and her mouse friends, who were trying to find the mud castle. Hunter arrows! Quick, get down, my friends! Although there were many dangers in the dark wood, Cinderella ran quickly with her friends away from the hunters. Cinderella finally found the place of the mud castle. This must be the castle that the good fairy told me about.
Come on, Cinderella. Let's bury the thorny chestnut seed here.
Cinderella and Cheddar started digging a hole in front of the mud castle. Meanwhile, Mozzarella was carefully checking around.
Oh, I see a very strange light up ahead. Hurry up!
Then, the evil fairy Kyrabel appeared right in front of these good-hearted friends.
Don't move.
Oops! The evil fairy!
Exactly. Now this evil fairy wants her thorny chestnut seed back. Right now.
Never! Since the evil fairy could not cast an evil spell without a seed, she approached Cinderella and tried to scare her by flapping her wings around her.
I said, give me back my thorny chestnut.
Seeing this, Mozzarella jumped towards Cinderella and took the seed from her palm. She then threw it up through the air to her friend Cheddar, who caught the seed by jumping in the air and quickly buried it in the hole he dug. The wings of Kyrabel, whose seed of evil was buried in the hole, could not fly at that moment, and she fell to the ground.
We did it! Yeah, Cinderella, let's get out of here.
Cinderella and her mouse friends ran away from the mud castle. They passed between two white pillars deep in the dark wood and finally returned to the safety of their castle's garden. The good fairy Liabelle greeted them with joy. You have accomplished such a difficult task. I am proud of you and your little friends, Cinderella. Goodness is the most precious thing in the world, isn't it? The fairy waved her magic wand and teleported Cinderella to a sweet reward. Cinderella, who did a very difficult job that day, made all her good wishes for the evil fairy to turn into a good fairy. Before long, a tree with huge white flowers grew where the thorny chestnut seed was buried. Seeing this, evil fairy Kyrabel set off again to look for other seeds of evil. One day, Princess Cinderella went out for a walk in the forest to pick some cranberries. After filling her basket with tiny cranberries, she heard a strange sound.
Help!
Who's that? And where is that voice coming from? When Cinderella looked up, she saw a huge elephant flying overhead.
What? A flying elephant? Crazy! How does this happen? Help me! I can't move down!
The elephant had shot up into the sky when her rope broke during a circus performance in the forest. Although her friends tried to help, they could not reach her. Because Cinderella is a princess who has the ability to talk to animals, she immediately called the elephant.
Hey, elephant! I can help you! Cinderella? Oh, please hurry! I'm afraid of heights!
Cinderella whistled loudly and summoned a tiny white pigeon. She asked her to help the elephant with the other pigeons. The little pigeon took flight and went to call her friends. Meanwhile, the sun was so hot in the sky that the elephant was afraid that the balloon she was attached to would melt and fall to the ground. I wish the clouds would block the sun a bit and protect my balloon. I'm so scared. While the elephant was hovering anxiously, a flock of white pigeons approached her. The pigeons flapped their wings and tried to carry the elephant, but she was so big that they barely made a difference. When Cinderella realized that the pigeons could not help, she asked for help from the frog Tiddalik, who was always near the lake, enjoying the water.
Now I am so busy, Cinderella. Oh, delicious water. I love water, you know.
But please, Tiddalik, only you can save her. When Cinderella told him how to save the elephant, the frog was fascinated by her idea and eventually jumped onto the wings of the white pigeon. The pigeon brought Tiddalik to the elephant.
Don't be afraid. Now you will land softly like a cotton ball.
Like a balloon, Tiddalik filled his mouth and stomach with air and asked the elephant to hold his leg. A few pigeons also supported them. Then the time came for a pigeon to pop the balloon to which the elephant was tied. Are you sure? Will this plan really work?
Yes, don't be afraid, elephant. Trust them.
The moment the pigeon burst the balloon with its beak, the frog Tiddalik started to carry the elephant. Cinderella admired how the animals all worked together like a family. Slowly, with very small breaths, the frog brought the elephant back to the ground safely. The elephant was so happy that she immediately hugged Cinderella. Thank you, Cinderella. If you hadn't noticed me, that balloon would have burst and I would have fallen to the ground.
You're fine now. But you have to thank not only me, but also Tiddalik and the pigeons.
After the elephant kissed the pigeons with her trunk, she gave to the frog Tiddalik his favorite thing.
Water! I was already very thirsty again.
One day, Cinderella noticed something strange in a secluded corner of the forest. When she got very close, she saw that it was a huge egg that was about to crack. I have never seen such a big egg in my life! Cinderella wandered around the egg to see if it had an owner. However, there was no one around. This can't be a chicken egg. Can't be a bird egg either. Just then, Cinderella heard a crackling sound. The top of the egg cracked and the shell fell to the ground. While Cinderella was looking in surprise, a baby dinosaur came out inside the egg. What? It's a dinosaur! A baby dinosaur! The baby dinosaur was curiously looking at Cinderella. Although Cinderella was a little frightened at first, she gently gave her hand to him. The baby dinosaur brought his head under Cinderella's hand and wanted to make her love him. Oh, how sweet you are! Then he jumped out of his shell and started to eat the small plants in front of him. Baby dinosaur, I don't know how or why you got here, but I need to get to your mother somehow. Meanwhile, the evil witch Zena's messenger owl saw all that was going on and immediately ran away. He came in a fury to Zena, who was casting a spell in the magic cauldron and perched on her shoulder. He told everything he saw in whispers. What? I can't believe what I'm hearing! A dinosaur, huh? Moreover, with Cinderella! I need to get one of that dinosaur's tooth owl, do you understand? I can do my immortality magic with that tooth! Cinderella and the baby dinosaur were on their way to the palace when Zena began planning to catch the dinosaur. I wonder, if I took you to the palace first, do you think they would be too scared? The baby dinosaur was sweet, that's true, but he was always hungry. He was swallowing every plant he saw in one bite and growing bigger each time. Oh, wow! You're growing up a little fast, aren't you? This rate, you will not leave any plant or fruit in the forest. The baby dinosaur ran under an apple tree he saw. When he started to shake the tree with all his might, the apples fell to the ground. As the dinosaur ate the apples, he got bigger and bigger. He was almost twice as big as Cinderella. I think I better ask Libel for help. While the dinosaur was eating the apples, Cinderella ran under the hazelnut tree a little further away and touched the tree and called to the good fairy. Libel, come wherever you are. At that moment, the surroundings shone brightly and Libel appeared before her. Libel, I need your help.
Of course, Cinderella. Tell me, what kind of help do you want from me?
Cinderella pointed to the dinosaur just ahead. Libel was so surprised to see that.
No way! We must send this dinosaur back to his own time, to the age of dinosaurs.
The age of dinosaurs?
Yes, otherwise he will continue to grow at such a rapid rate. We must also protect him from people who would want to harm him.
But how will we send him to his own time? The good fairy Libel waved her magic wand 3 times clockwise. Thus, a time portal was opened in the middle of the forest. Cinderella took some apples and tried to lure the dinosaur towards the passage.
I can only keep the passage open for a certain period of time, Cinderella. You must hurry.
But at that moment, Xena appeared in front of Cinderella in a magic ball. Stop! That dinosaur will come with me! Ha! No, evil witches like you should stay away from him. Although Cinderella tried to bring the dinosaur closer to the passage with apples, Xena first tied the magic rope in her hand to her own wrist and then threw the rope around the dinosaur's tail. The owl, on the other hand, snatched the wand from Libel's hand with a fury.
No! Give it back to me! Otherwise the passage will be closed forever!
Owl, ignoring the good fairy, brought the wand and placed it in Xena's hand.
What will you do now, Cinderella?
Xena was both trying to pull the dinosaur towards herself with the magic rope and also trying to close the passage with Libel's wand.
Don't go, dinosaur! Stop! We'll never make it!
As the dinosaur was getting closer and closer to Xena step by step, a strong and strange noise was heard from inside the passage. Huh? What is that strange noise? What is going on? Where is this scream coming from?
It's a dinosaur song. Mother dinosaurs make this sound to call their baby dinosaurs. The sound is coming from the other side of the passage.
When the baby dinosaur, hearing his mother's voice, started to run towards the passage, Xena, who was tied to him with a rope, had to follow him.
Stop! Where are you running, dinosaur?
Thus, the baby dinosaur and the evil witch Xena went through the passage that was about to be closed to the age of dinosaurs. Staring behind them, Cinderella and Libel didn't know what to do. We did it! The baby dinosaur is finally home! Yes, but not alone. When Xena suddenly found herself in the age of dinosaurs, she was overjoyed at first, because she has seen a lot of dinosaur teeth around. here's a dinosaur tooth. Wait for me, immortality spell. But she didn't know how to return because the passage was closed. How am I gonna get back now? Oh no! Help! I can't cast a spell here! It's impossible! Oh! When Xena noticed that the mother dinosaur was approaching her, she started to run away in fear. Get me out of here! Oh! I don't want to! I don't! The baby dinosaur was back in the age of dinosaurs. Liabelle was back in the fairyland. And Cinderella was back in her palace. Because everyone can be happy where they're with their loved ones.